welcome to a new video. Today I'm doing another recommendations video. I'm gonna try and make this one short and sweet because I have a very small window today of when I can film and edit this because I have lots to do, but this is actually pretty applicable to a busy day like this. Today I'm going to be recommending you some of my comfort media. So books, movies, television, etc. I think it's just such a stressful year that sometimes you need to turn to stuff that maybe is a rewatch or reread just to be comforted by that. And as of when I'm filming this, it is Saturday the 7th, I believe, and the presidential election here in the United States still has not been called, so that has obviously been a very big stressor on my mind, and I also have a test to be studying for, and then there's all the regular 2020 stuff, the pandemic and all of that. So I feel like there is just a need for comforting media this year, but there's a lot of stuff that I turn to when I am having a bad day. So whether you are having a bad day or a bad year, I hope you can maybe check out any of these and find some comfort. Since this is primarily a booktube channel, I will start with my favorite comfort books. Now, for the most part, when I'm looking for comfort in reading, I will go for a reread, but also for the most part, if I am very stressed, I might not have the energy to read at all, but if I do, I will turn to one of these. So first off, obviously the first on the list is Harry Potter. I don't know anyone who doesn't consider this one of their comfort reads. I reread all 7 of them this year because obviously this year has been very stressful. I really enjoyed rereading all of them. There's just nothing better than returning to the magical world of Harry Potter and returning to these characters in this story that I know so well, and just being comforted by Harry and his friends. And I know there's a lot of sad parts in Harry Potter as well, but also just being in that setting of Hogwarts and the magical world, it feels like coming home. So that is definitely one of my main comfort reads. Next is one that I only found last year, actually, that I discovered as one of my favorite books, and that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It is one of my absolute favorite books, and it's probably my favorite classic. It is so comforting to me. I love the sisters. I love the development as they grow throughout time, and it's just such a good read. I have read it twice last year, and I'm currently rereading it on my Instagram stories, or like Instagram IGTV video things, chapter by chapter, just because I feel like it brings me so much peace. So I hope I can read it to someone else and maybe bring them a little bit of peace in little like 15-minute increment videos. Next for rereads, I'm sure no one is surprised by this, but the Twilight books are a very big source of comfort for me. I absolutely adore coming back to this series. I have read it a lot of times. It is probably the books that I have read the most times in general. I reread those this year as well in preparation for Midnight Sun, and I have already read Midnight Sun a second time, so I just really love coming back to the setting of Forks and coming back to these characters that I really love, and they are characters that I have loved for such a long time. Like, I read Twilight before I ever read Harry Potter, so this is like one of my very first series that I really fell in love with, so it means a lot to me to be able to go back and reread those. Next is one I mentioned in my underrated books recommendation video, and that is the Kingdom Keepers series. I haven't even finished this series, but for some reason it just holds such a special place of comfort in my heart, and I think it's because of how it incorporates Disney, because I'm a very big Disney fan, and obviously those are comfort movies to me, like their cartoons, you know, have that happy ending. So I adore reading the Kingdom Keepers books and getting to see all the Disney aspects, and that just is really comforting, and I really love all the characters, and it's a middle grade, and so it's like a little easier to read and consume, so I really love those books. Lastly, this is more a genre of books, but historical romance books really mean a lot to me. Even though at this point I've read a handful of them. I've read quite a few, but It's just so nice to go into a book knowing you will get an HEA, which is a happily ever after, and it makes me so happy, and I just love reading these characters finding each other and falling in love. Even if there's a lot of turmoil on the way, they always end up there in the end, and I really, really love that. I say historical specifically just because I love the historical setting. It's so immersive and fun. There's cool fashion, there's historical components, there's society, parties, and all this stuff that just make them so interesting that I really, really enjoy. And the fact that I haven't read as many contemporary romances when it comes to like these mass market paperback type of genre, but I really like the historicals because it just really takes you somewhere else, so I really enjoy that. Next, let's talk TV. So like I said, if I'm having a very stressful day, it's more likely that I'm going to go to TV than to read a book, because likely I just don't have a lot of energy for reading by that point. So there's a couple shows that are my absolute go-tos when I need to just check out and just laugh and be happy and, you know, de-stress from whatever is going on. So first off is a more recent find is Schitt's Creek. If you have not watched Schitt's Creek, please go watch it. It is the funniest show ever made. So it is on Netflix, it's on CW Seed, it's on IMDb, like it's on quite a few places you can stream it. It's 6 seasons. I have watched it 3 times. I'm almost done with the 3rd rewatch. I love it so much. It makes me laugh more than I could explain to you. And there's nothing more comforting than a show that just makes you laugh, but it's also so heartfelt. These people, these characters, they find heart and they find love and they grow and they find community, and it's just absolutely amazing. It won so many Emmys this year. It's absolutely amazing. You have to watch it. Next, another comedy. My second funniest show ever is New Girl, which I feel like everyone has watched New Girl at this point, but it really is one of my favorite shows. I have been watching it since it was on TV, like however long ago it started. It's so funny. I love Zooey Deschanel so much. She's hilarious. All the characters are so funny. It's got great romance. It's got great friendships and family and like a found family, and it's just so funny. Nick Miller is hilarious. He is a comfort character of mine. He is just absolutely hilarious. Next, I also feel like this should be no surprise to anyone, is Gilmore Girls is one of my favorite comfort shows. When I'm having a really stressful day, like a bad day, Gilmore Girls is the one I go to because it's so comforting to go back to Stars Hollow and Lorelai and Rory. I will say if I'm looking for a comforting episode, I'm probably going for one of the earlier seasons. One of my absolute favorites is the episode where they have 4 Thanksgivings. They go to Sookie's and Luke's and their parents and Lane's house for Thanksgiving. That is just one of my favorite episodes, and I really, really love this show. I love the characters. I will say the later seasons I don't love as much, but I just really love Lorelai and Rory when they're not making dumb decisions. But I think everyone can agree this is a very big comfort show for a lot of people, and I've been watching it for so many years at this point that it just feels like coming home. Next, this one might not exactly seem like a comfort show, but Supernatural is one of my absolute favorite shows of all time, and I have been watching it at this point for like 8 years-ish, so I absolutely love to just sit and watch that. I am still watching it on live television, obviously. It's almost over. I need to catch up really badly, but school's been keeping me too busy, annoyingly, so there's that. But I really, really enjoy this family that is within the show between Sam and Dean and Cass and later Jack, and before there's Bobby and Charlie, and just so many characters that really have a family. So I really, really enjoy that aspect of the show. Obviously then there's like the whole monster hunting thing, but I really, really love this show, and I'm so familiar with it because like in high school I was, very much a Super Who Lock kind of gal, and all I did was watch Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. So that is definitely one of my comfort shows. There are a couple honorable mentions. I'm a very big TV person. Like I just mentioned, Doctor Who is a big one. I didn't initially put it on my list because until recently I didn't have I didn't have it to stream anywhere, but I just got HBO Max, so now I have it again. But I also really enjoy Criminal Minds and Bones and a couple other like procedural shows like that. I do like crime, and Psych is a really big one as well. I started watching that show in like the 6th or 7th grade, so that's a big comfort show as well. A lot of the times I do go for television when I have a bad day and need something to watch. Next, sort of adjacent to TV shows, is movies. I love watching movies. The thing that we always have done as a family is watch movies a lot of the time. So I love to sit down and watch a movie at night when I have the time. So along with the books, so some of my favorite movies to watch are Twilight and Harry Potter, big comfort movies. I have done rewatches of both of those series twice each this year, so that, you know, shows you how good this year has been going for all of us. I love the movies of both Twilight and Harry Potter. They're so fantastic. Especially Twilight is so atmospheric, especially the first one. I love it so much. And then the other comfort movie that I really that came to my mind at first are Christmas movies, and now that is obviously a very big genre. I love the Hallmark movies. I love the cheesy Netflix Hallmark type movies. I love Home Alone, Christmas Vacation. There's so many I can't even think. I just watched Christmas with the Cranks yesterday. Like, there's so many Christmas movies that I absolutely adore, and Christmas season is my favorite time of year, so if I need a pick-me-up, I will watch a Christmas movie at any point in the year. And then lastly, this is kind of a miscellaneous section, but if you wanted to do for YouTube, if I feel like watching YouTube, which isn't all the time, I kind of have to be in a mood to feel like watching YouTube, but obviously I love watching booktube videos. I love watching reading vlogs for the most part. There's quite a few that I really like. I like Riley Marie, I like Abigail's Cup of Tea, recently I've really liked Crystal's videos, I like Peace Love Books. There's so many. There's a lot of romance booktubers that I like. I will link, Jess from Peace Love Books recently just did a video on her favorite romance booktubers, so I will link that video down below, because if you're looking for any romance booktubers, there was a really great list, and a lot of those I watched. Avery is another one. I'll link the ones that I have said below as well. Also on YouTube, and this is gonna be, you can tell I was a super Hulock type of fan back in the day. I still am, honestly, but in the fact that my favorite comfort YouTubers are Dan and Phil. And Dan has not uploaded in like 2 years, but Phil still uploads pretty regularly. And even if I want to watch a video of them together, I'll just watch an old video. Even if I've seen it before, they just make me laugh so much, and I love them. I love them, and I always will. I've seen them live. They're hilarious. They're just two of my favorite people, and they're just so funny, and it makes me laugh so much. And then this one is really like a random sort of category, but recently this year, TikTok has really been a big comfort thing for me, because even though I really made fun of it in the beginning, because that tends to be how I work, is I'll be like, oh, it looks stupid, and then I totally fall in love with it. That's how I was with Twitter too. So I absolutely love the content that I follow. I follow a lot of cosplayers and a lot of like fandom type stuff, so it's kind of just like a video format of Tumblr for me, if I'm being honest. I love it so much because everyone is just so kind and makes such unique and creative content, and then there's also a lot of just really funny videos that I absolutely love, and it's just good that you just need to laugh sometimes, and definitely TikTok has been a way to do that, so that has been really nice this year as well. So that is some recommendations for my comfort media that I turn to when I'm having a stressful time. I know The last week here in the US has been very stressful. Like I said, as of now, they still haven't called the election, even though we kind of see where it's going, but it hasn't been officially called yet because votes are not done being counted. So I've been very stressed about that. Just so you know, they have mostly called the election about 2 minutes after I finished filming this video. So I'm a lot less stressed about that, but still stressed about the test and the general stuff of this year. But it looks like the election definitely went our way. Most news outlets are calling Biden the winner, so I am very, very relieved about that. So I just thought I'd give you a quick update on that little thing. And I am trying to study for a test, and there's always stuff to be done for school. I'm moving soon, so I'm gonna have to start packing eventually. And so there's a lot going on this year, but we're heading into the holidays, my favorite time of year, no matter what you celebrate. It's a time to hopefully find some time for yourself to relax and recuperate after this year, because I know it's been a hard year for everyone, including myself. So I hope that if you need some comfort, you might look into one of these. Maybe you will like some of these as comfort media too. If not, I hope you turn to whatever is your comfort media and you find some time for yourself. So especially in times like these, please find some time to relax, find some time for yourself. I know I need to do that too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I upload booktube videos every Sunday. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.